No fast track for Amtrak's return to Mobile, at least for now. City Council says it's all about the money.
The council expected to vote on authorizing a letter of support for a federal grant to restore the service, but the city would have to put the money up too.
And that's temporarily blocking the rails. Our Steve Alexander joining us now from Government Plaza to tell us why and what's next. Steve?
Well, the Stimpson administration asked that the decision be held over for a week because it was waiting on some important information. But Fox 10 News has learned some new details about costs and past ridership that might help council members make their decision.
All aboard!
There was a human train of about 15 people walking into the Government Plaza auditorium right before the Mobile City Council meeting. They were there to show their support for restoring Amtrak service. Mobile city officials are being asked to commit up to $3 million over 3 years to pay for operations of Amtrak starting in 2023. Stephen McNair, a member of the Southern Rail Commission, which is applying for the grant, believes benefits will outweigh costs.
When you look at the greater economic impact of bringing in sales tax, bringing in lodging taxes, and bringing in thousands of tourists a year to Mobile, the return on investment more than pays for itself when you look at the bigger picture.
But Councilmember Joel Daves says by Amtrak's own estimates, for every $1 that riders would pay, taxpayers would pay 10.
There's a federal subsidy the first 3 years, so we'd be maxed out at $3 million the first 3 years, but there's no federal subsidy after that. So in year 4 till infinity, Mobile would be paying $2.3 million just for the train to operate.
McNair says Amtrak estimates more than 38,000 people would ride the new passenger train between Mobile and New Orleans. He says the Gulf Coast Limited ran between the two cities for 10 months between 1996 and 97, and ridership was just over 34,000. But McNair says the Gulf Coast population has grown more than 20%.
The distance between Mobile and New Orleans is driving time competitive once this train is running. Wherever we are driving time competitive with reasonable fares, we do very well attracting passengers.
Now, council members Levon Manzi and Fred Richardson have expressed support for the Amtrak plan. Councilmember Joel Daves as well as Gina Gregory have raised some concerns. 5 votes will be needed to authorize that letter of support, and that vote expected to come next Tuesday. Reporting live from downtown, Steve Alexander, Fox 10 News.
All right, Steve, thanks very much. Well, according to Forbes, Amtrak travels to more than 500 destinations across 46 states along 30 different routes. Take a look at some of the most popular routes, which include a daily service from New York to Montreal and a trip from Chicago to San Francisco. Along the West Coast, hundreds of people choose to cruise from L.A. to Seattle or even to L.A. from New Orleans. Plenty of options, with New York Station the busiest.